हेलो एंड वेलकम टू कॉन्सेप्ट एक्सप्लोरर्स। क्लास टेंथ का जो सोशल साइंस है उसका एक टॉपिक है पॉलिटिक्स में से आउटकम्स ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी। सो टू अंडरस्टैंड द आउटकम्स ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी वी जस्ट हैव टू रिवाइज द होल आइडिया ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी व्हाट वी हैव लर्नड इन आवर अर्लियर चैप्टर्स और इन आवर अर्लियर क्लासेस। हमें लगातार पढ़ाया गया है अभी से पहले क्लासेस में 9th में 8th में हमने ये पढ़ा है दैट डेमोक्रेसी को बहुत ज़्यादा हाई फाई करके बताया जाता है एंड डेमोक्रेसी की बहुत तारीफ भी की जाती है। वाई डेमोक्रेसी इज द बेस्ट फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, हाउ डेमोक्रेसी प्लेज एन इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल इन द मॉडर्न वर्ल्ड इन द 20th centuries। सो द चैप्टर इज अबाउट आउटकम्स ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी दैट अगर हम डेमोक्रेसी के बारे में पढ़ रहे हैं देन what we should have in mind, हमें क्या एक्सपेक्टेशंस हैं किसी डेमोक्रेसी से, उसे स्टडी किया जाता है आउटकम्स ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी में। सो बेसिकली द फर्स्ट पॉइंट ऑफ द चैप्टर इज अकाउंटेबल, रेस्पॉन्सिव एंड लेजिटिमेट गवर्नमेंट। सो अगर हम डेमोक्रेसी को रखते हैं, अगर किसी कंट्री में डेमोक्रेसी है, ये डेमोक्रेसी क्या फायदा करती है, कंपेयर करना पड़ेगा हमें चीज़ों को समझने के लिए। मान लो किसी कंट्री में डेमोक्रेसी है और किसी कंट्री में डेमोक्रेसी नहीं है, उस कंट्री में डिक्टेटरशिप वाला रूल है, अथॉरिटेटिव रूल है। सो डिफरेंस क्या पड़ता है अकाउंटेबिलिटी को लेकर। डेमोक्रेसी इज डेफिनेटली मोर अकाउंटेबल गवर्नमेंट देन एनी अदर फॉर्म्स ऑफ गवर्नमेंट। वाई दिस इज सो? दिस इज बिकॉज the democracy in a democracy, the rulers, the basic thing about democracy, what is the basic thing of democracy? The basic pillar of democracy is that the rulers who make the law for the entire country, those rulers are actually elected by the common people, the general public of the country. So when the nation wants to make some person as his minister or his ruler, they make them by the process of election. So अगर आप किसी चीज को एनफोर्स करते हो, लाइक इन ए स्कूल और इन ए कॉलेज और इन एनी अदर इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ द कंट्री, whom we are responsive, whom we are accountable, हमारी अकाउंटेबिलिटी किसके लिए होती है? जैसे हम किसी स्कूल में पढ़ाते हैं तो स्कूल में एक प्रिंसिपल होता है, हमारी अकाउंटेबिलिटी किसके लिए होती है? बच्चों के लिए या स्टाफ के लिए या पीएन के लिए या प्रिंसिपल के लिए? ऑब्वियसली प्रिंसिपल के लिए, बिकॉज ही इज द अपॉइंटिंग अथॉरिटी। जो आपको अपॉइंट करता है किसी चीज पे, आपकी अकाउंटेबिलिटी उसके लिए रहती है, आप रिस्पॉन्सिव उसके लिए होंगे जरूर, जो चीज आपको अपॉइंट करती है। सो इन द सेम वे आप उसे बाइकआउट करके नहीं चल सकते ना। If you are working in an office, if you are working in Microsoft or any other company, you will have definitely a lot number of colleagues, friends with whom you are spending your quality time together or you are doing your job, but they are at par with your level. वो आपके बराबर में हो सकते हैं, आपके subordinate हो सकते हैं। You can listen to them, you may not listen to them, but you can never ignore the warning of your boss. Why? Because he is the ultimate appointing authority. You are there in that institution because of that person, so you cannot just ignore him. You have to listen him. So we are accountable for those who are appointing us, who are our main authority. So the main authority in a democracy is people. The rulers are elected by them only. So the rulers must be accountable, and they are accountable to the people because they have a fear in mind that if we are not accountable to the general public might outcast us in the next election. We may lose the power, and this fear of losing the power motivates them to be accountable to the public. That is why they are answering the questions of the public in the parliament building itself. So the democracy is definitely accountable. Now, responsive. We can say that democracy is not as responsive as dictatorship. Why this is so? That must be a confusing idea, but let me clear it. It is because in a dictatorship, a single person is the dictator. He is the authoritative ruler of the nation. He has the sole power to take decision on behalf of the entire nation and vis-a-vis the entire public. He is the sole authority, na? So no one is going to stop him that this thing that you are going to do is wrong or this thing you must not do. No one is going to tell him that, because he is the supreme authority. He will do whatever he would like to do, and such decisions will be facilitated in meantime. The decisions that are taken by that dictator, that those decisions will not take a lot amount of time to be implemented or to be formulated just then and there. हर चीज हो जाएगी, क्यों? क्योंकि उसके पास सारी पावर है ना. द सेम पर्सन, सिंगल पर्सन हैज ऑल द पावर ऑफ द कंट्री. सो जो रूल वो बनाना चाहेगा, उसके मन में आया, उसने रूल बनाया, रूल कल लागू हो जाएगा. There is not a much deliberate process in the whole thing. But in a democracy, why the democracy is less responsive? The same answer I am giving. That democracy is less responsive because it will take time in each stages to formulate a policy, to formulate a law. There will be two opinions that will be counterproductive to each other. One will say that go ahead with this policy, other will say that this policy is not beneficial for the people or the country. They will lag the process. Ultimately, the process is going to be lag. But on this thing, what will you say? Which is the better form of government, a democracy or non-democratic? Because in a non-democratic, the laws are made in one go. Then no one is going to stop those laws. And it will not take time. It will save time. But in a democracy, it will take a lot amount of time. It will take a lot of lagging to implementing some decision, to formulating some policies. On basis of these two arguments, which form of government do you think is the most suitable form of government? You may be thinking that non-democratic is way better in this thing, as in the case of responsiveness, but it is not so. Because just think in this way, that it is true that in a non-democratic regime, the actions, the policies, the laws are made in one go, in one step, and there is no lagging. कोई रुकावट नहीं है, चीज़ बहुत तेज़ी से होती है. But ये भी आप साथ ही याद रखिए that if the law that is made by that person, that dictator, if the very law is counterproductive to the public, is not beneficial to the people. Suppose a malicious law is made by that person, like हर 10 साल की लड़की की शादी कर दो. So if every 10-year child is going to be married, the whole institution of child marriage will reoccur and the problems in the society will definitely come. But what can you do? You do not have any power in your own hand. He is the supreme authority. He thought that it might be beneficial for the country to marry off all the 10-year girl child. But definitely it is not okay. Na? But you can do nothing in this thing. But what will happen in a democracy? In democracy, a law will have checks and balances at every step. So if the law is not beneficial, it will be stopped by others. And if the law is not beneficial, it will be stopped by the general public itself. General public will not give its permission on the law, and the law will be declared as unconstitutional by the respective Supreme Court. ये चीज होगी नॉन डेमोक्रेसी में? नहीं होगी. सो डेमोक्रेसी इज मोर रिस्पॉन्सिबल. Next thing is legitimacy. Obviously, democratic form of government are more legitimate form of government when we compare them to non-democratic regimes, because legitimacy comes with the power of the people. When the people will have the power to choose a person to a seat as a ruler, and the same people will have the power to oust him to throw him from that seat, to throw him out from the power. When the people will have this power in their own hand, then they will have certain kind of feeling that we are actually involved in the decision making process of the country. Directly or indirectly, it doesn't matter, but you are actually involved in the whole decision making process of the country, because you are the one who is choosing the ruler and you are the one who is destroying him out of his seat. So this is the basic fundamental thing, that democracy is more accountable, democracy is more legitimate, democracy is less responsive because it takes time, but at the end of the day, it is better form of government. Next thing is economic growth. In our country, we have the example of our own country. Economic growth is definitely not as fast as in a country where a dictator rules, because the laws will take time. And then again, there are a diverse form of people, diverse kinds of aspirations, diverse kinds of desires that are coming from different regions of the country. You have to fulfill each and every wish of those all those people. And for that, distribution of wealth should be kept in mind that if the country is developing, if the country is having a tremendous economic growth, if the GDP of the country is mount soaring, then it is not good that if a country is developing, if a country is making more money, if a country has a high rate of GDP, it doesn't mean that every person or every citizen of the country is having a kind of luxury life in its own respect. Because in a democracy, economic development is not that fast. In our country, we can see since we achieved our independence, from that time we had protectionist policies. We stopped our exports and imports with other countries because we had a fear that we might again be colonized by some other high rich nations or powerful nations. So we didn't open our import and exports, and it costs us heavily at that time since independence till 1991, when liberalization of the economy took place in PV Narasimha Rao government. So this is the whole thing, that in a democracy, irrespective that the country is having a tremendous growth, the distribution of wealth is not good, the distribution of wealth is not healthy. Some sections of the people are very affluent, are very rich, having a high rate of lifestyle, but some sections of people are very poor, so economic growth is not that much good. Then the next topic we should conclude that we should come to is reduction in inequality and poverty. Since time immemorial, in a democratic country, there are a lot of rulers who come to power, who lose their power, who again come to power, and subsequently the whole cycle carries on. But we have seen and we have witnessed that whatever government is forming its government in the country, whichever party is forming its government in the country, whichever the party is in power, no party or no person can risk the votes of the mass number of people in our country that are living a life in ultimate poverty. In the last chapter, class 9th, obviously in the economics, you must have read the chapter on poverty in our country. And we know the fact that a large section of the people in our country are yet below poverty line. They do not have enough supplies, enough resources to maintain a healthy and dignified life, to maintain some कुछ मूलभूत आवश्यकताएं हैं वो भी वो पूरी नहीं कर पाते हैं. सो एक ऐसी लाइफ वो लोग बिताते हैं आज भी. In spite of that, there are always some sections of the people who are leading a luxurious life. Those are businessmen, capitalists. They have a large wealth accumulated in them. So the distribution of wealth is not as good as we might assume that in a democracy it should function like that. So reduction in inequality and poverty had been an issue from time immemorial in our country and in every democratic country. Even when you will have the, for example, when you will take the glimpse of Bangladesh, the people that are below poverty line are huge in numbers. Yet they claim democracy in their country. We also claim democracy in our country. Democracy has failed time and again in reducing the inequality and poverty. Now, next thing is social diversity. Accommodating social diversity. Yes, the fact is right. The democracy will definitely accommodate the different sections of the people, their aspirations, their desires. In a democracy and only in a democracy. Because, listen, the fact is, when a ruler is becoming prime minister in a democratic country, the ruler is not selected by a single section of people or a single group of people. It is actually selected by all the people of the country in one way or other. So, in a country, in a democratic country, there will be diversity. There will be large number of people that will speak different languages, that will have different ethnicity, that will that will have different cultures and traditions, but all those peoples you must win, you must gain the confidence of all those different sections of people in order to form your government, in order to become prime minister. So in order to do so, you must accommodate all their aspirations and desires also, na? You cannot ignore one section of people, you cannot ignore, just for example, as a religion, you cannot, one prime minister cannot ignore the one religious community. Like we are ignoring Muslims and we just want the votes of the Hindus to form the government. You cannot form the government, you will not have the majority to form the government, because you cannot neglect a section of people in a democracy. You have to take the views of all different kind of diverse people in the country. What are their aspirations, what do they desire from their prime minister? You must fulfill their wishes in order to make your government in subsequent years also. So definitely a democracy is more accommodating in case of social diversity. The social diversity means different kinds of people having different languages, different ethnicity, different cultures. We must respect all those cultures, all those traditions. We must hear their petitions. We must respond to their voices. Then at finally, a democracy will definitely maintain a dignified and free life of its citizens. You can compare with any kind of rule all over the world. Maybe either it is dictatorship or let it be presidential form of government. You will not enjoy that kind of liberty and freedom in such countries when you will compare them to a democratic one. In a democratic country, you will have a long list of fundamental rights that are enjoyed by its citizens. Those fundamental rights are cherished by the constitution of that country, and no ruler will risk that the people of its country, people of its democratic country, cannot enjoy such freedoms. No ruler will do such things, because this is the basic pillar of a democracy, that when the rulers are elected by the people, people will have the supreme power, and in turn they will have the freedom, they will have some dignity to maintain a healthy life. So if you are well versed with the chapter, if I am able to understand the chapter, do like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.